Hello everybody, it is June 30th, 2020. I don't know what time it is. I think it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm home, relaxing, and I came into this epiphany recently, literally just 20 minutes ago, as I was listening to very, very romantic music. Your girl's already in the mood, you know? You already know. So I am here to discuss feelings about guilt. So what is it about guilt that makes us feel so damn disgustingly frigid and scared about everything? Because guilt is really just a reflection of what you think you are thinking. Let me see if I can break that down in a more precise way. So pretty much what guilt is, you feel bad about something because you think you're gonna harm somebody else, you're gonna harm yourself. A lot of it has to do with harming others, or you think you are harming others. So when I look at guilt, I want to just say that it has much more to do than that. It's much more than superficial. It goes deeper than that. So what I mean by that is it goes deeper to the root of the problem, which is probably you, most likely you. So how do you perceive guilt? Oh, I feel guilty because I cheated on my spouse. Oh, I feel guilty because I cheated on the test that I needed to in order to get into grad school. So this guilt, it kind of lingers inside of you until something triggers you and it opens up again, and then the Pandora box opens up once again. You're like, oh my God, no, I feel so guilty. But one thing about guilt is that you can definitely face it head on. And listen, it takes mighty, mighty strength to get there, okay? It starts with you and saying that you want to resolve these issues, you want to fix this, and you want to make it right, because the guilt, if you don't face it head on, it's gonna fester. And when it festers, it makes you feel like incredibly uncomfortable. Why? Because you're thinking too much about it. You know what you did wrong and you're trying to right your wrong, but in all honesty, it depends on the scenario, it depends on the situation. So when I think of guilt, I just say make up your wrong. Maybe that's something I would do. Why? Because you don't want to live in guilt forever. You want to live freely. You want to live truly to who you are, to your principles, to your morals. And when people don't do that, it's like, wait, I'm a walking contradiction, and don't really live my truth because I think I'm not living my truth. But in reality, are you living your truth? If you clear away this debt, this doubt, this fear, this guilt, let me tell you something. Guilt is not always easy. It's one of the lowest vibrations in our energy field, really. If you feel fear, guilt is just right next to it as well. So I just say honor the feeling of guilt, because it's something we all experience from time to time. We feel guilty about something. We weren't enough. We weren't around for this person when they were alive. We weren't, there for them really when they were sick. You feel guilty about these things. So I just say, learn from your mistakes, learn from the past, learn from them, because they're going to help you in the moment, in the present situation that you find yourself in. Because you want to look back a little bit, not looking back in the past like, oh my God, things were great back then. No, things are always great when you think they are. Okay, now look at your past and look at how you handled situations that you thought were stressful. So when they were stressful for you, what happens is that you need to learn how to cope with them. You learn coping skills when you're a little kid, right? You learn to cope with things. Now, how did you grow up coping with certain situations? How did you handle stressful situations? For example, you may be having a stressful situation at home or a stressful situation at work, and mixing both of them, you feel kind of out of balance. But if you know how to handle stress very well, whatever that may be, however that may be, then you already know the next steps. Okay, I'm feeling stressed. I have a deadline to meet at work. All right, let me take a deep breath. I already know what to do. I know how to handle this situation. And I think communication, once again, sneaks its way in, because it's so important to communicate your needs, to communicate how you feel, to communicate this, that, tit for tat. It all crosses all out and it makes sense. It's an equation. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. It starts clicking more naturally. Why is that? Well, you start to get into this state of even flow. And when you're in the even flow, it's just it's a very beautiful state to be in, because it's just something that you naturally feel accustomed to. This is our natural state of being. When we don't have anything lingering. We don't have anything guilt-ridden. We don't have no doubt. We don't have anything that's vibrating on a lower frequency. And when you're vibrating on a higher frequency, you already know how that feels. Your girl loves it over here. So I invite you guys, whatever fear or guilt or worry that you guys have right now, I just want you guys to honor that, you know, because if you don't, it's just going to sit there and it's going to rot away. And then it's going to come back stronger if you don't face it head on. Take one step at a time. It takes time to really work with these things. Are hard emotions. These are hard situations. They're not easy. But I promise you, okay, I promise you that there is growth in it. There will be growth. You will understand when you get into the next situation, whatever relationship, etc., 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 that this guilt or whatever, the way you used to communicate ain't going to be the same way you communicated before. Okay, remember that there's always a lesson. Each day is a new day to learn. You know, there's a lesson in everything. Little things, trivial things, they all add up. So that's my message for today, guys. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Your girl here, relaxing in a room and just chilling out, because you know what? Ficar fria, girl, ficar fria, relájate. Ain't nothing to worry about. Just stay here in the moment and dream, baby, dream. Mwah.